Good afternoon. My name is Edgar Perez, and over the years, I have had the pleasure to interact with 200,000 executives across 25 different countries all over the world. As such, I've seen the transformation of many companies across every corner in the world. However, I couldn't have been prepared with the AI tsunami we are living today. Forget about 5-year plans. Forget about 18-month life cycles. Today, let's expect the unexpected, because every day we'll find the unpredictable. That's the way things are moving today. And that's why it's important to recognize that adaptability can no longer be a buzzword. Instead, it has to be a skill for survival that we all need to embrace. Adaptability, for me, it's not just a concept. It's an experience. My journey started in my native Peru. I studied there, then I lived in America for 20 years. I did my MBA at Columbia Business School, and I worked for many major companies. However, the biggest challenge came later. The defining moment came when my family and I decided to move from the US to China. Now, let's talk about that shift. It was not only a new language, it was not only a new environment, it was actually a complete change versus the life we had before. This experience fundamentally transformed us because we realized that we can cultivate a resilience for anything that would come in our way. Now we think that we can go anywhere and we can identify opportunities to grow everywhere. That's what companies need to figure out as well, because ultimately what we need to think is that this transformation can happen not only for people but also for companies. Now, companies sometimes are used to models that work in the past. However, what they need to figure out is that they need to look at things that are not in physical assets, but in the brains of their employees. Our brains are operating systems that have been engineered for radical change. As such, we need to operate our organizations not with a better version of the brains, but knowing that these brains are eager to learn, eager to adapt. Let's look at Amazon, a company we all like to one click. This company at some moment was operated as a small bookstore running out of a garage by Jeff Bezos. Guess what? This company outgrew the AI wave. They actually embraced the internet and AI revolutions. They stay in retail, but eventually they pivoted into infrastructure, into cloud computing with AWS. That's what made this company a pioneer, because many companies were still thinking about dial-up, and Amazon was already thriving in the AI era. They focused on AI infrastructure, and such, they were able to reap the benefits of these new technology transformations. Today, this is a $2 trillion company that laughs in the face of recessions because their businesses are successful in every economic condition. That's what companies need to focus on. The assets that they had in the past, the things that made them successful in the past, no longer are guaranteed to also help them in the future. You only need to look at a company called Blockbuster that had thousands of stores. If you wanted to enjoy a movie, you could go there and rent a movie. They thought that this model would transcend over the years. That was not the case. Companies today live stream movies, TV series, anything. Blockbuster is already among the companies of the past. You might ask yourself, how am I able to succeed today if we have already machines that are able to do the work of 50 people in 5 seconds? Well, the point is not to fight the machines. The point is to elevate the humans. That's what we need to embrace. Because at the end of the day, humans are really the only ones who are able to pivot, to flourish, to actually learn. And that's not gonna change. So today, we need to think about adaptability. Let's not adapt reactively. let's start adapting proactively, identifying change. So my journey started in Peru, through America, and now in China. But my journey is not ending. Let's make sure that we also continue our journeys and that we embrace change. Change is not gonna stop. The algorithms are always running. So let's not think that that's the end. This change is continuous, and those who take advantage of this change will eventually be the ultimate winners. Thank you very much.